Cool. Welcome, everybody. My name is Ryan Stunkel, and today we are going to be making some cool sounds. Actually, let me pull up Twitch chat so I can interact with y'all. But yeah, so today, if you guys have been to previous PAXs, then you probably have seen me before doing the sound design live panel that we have. And usually we make sounds from the audience, and people have crazy objects in the crowd. Someone had a jar of peanut butter once. Somebody had balloons, and we usually make an okay sound at the end of it. But the idea is that we're going to make a sound effect from scratch using just sounds from you guys, the audience. So I think we're going to try and limit this to people in the Blipsounds Discord server for now, just because we have some limitations here. Yeah, we're going to try and do this online. Should be a fun time. I've done this once before online, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So for those of you that don't know, I'm a professional sound designer, and I am with blipsounds.com. I'm the founder of it. And with sound design, it's basically the art of making sound effects for sounds to enhance them or make them feel better, and audio design as a whole. So I think the best way for me to really show off how sound design works is to show off a video of it. So I'm going to pull up a little video that I posted on the Blipsounds Twitter some time ago. So this is I decided to try recreating Cloud's cross slash from Final Fantasy VII Remake. So yeah, that's basically the process of sound design. As you can see, the process of sound design involves recording sounds from scratch, making sound effects. Excuse me, let me just change my window here. It's going to involve recording sound effects from scratch. It's going to have a processing point, and then we're basically going to just try and make that into a professional sound effect. So it gets a little bit more chaotic when we add you all, the audience, into the mix, but we have about like 30 minutes to do this. So I think that we're going to try and jump right in. So we're going to do this panel by doing, we're going to try redoing Cloud's cross slash as you just saw here. So in order to do that, we are going to, I think that in order to do this, I'm going to use people from the Blipsounds Discord server. If anybody has any, people are already sending sounds in. Perfect. This is from Aaron Stickless. If anybody's in the Blipsounds Discord server, if you want to join to send in some sound effects, just hit just type in invite.gg/blipsounds, and you will be able to, you can just go ahead and upload your sound files through there in the off-topic channel. Yeah, we're basically just going to take this video here. Let me see if I can get it up. So yeah, we're going to just try remaking this Cloud cross slash sound altogether. This is the video we have. Very cool. And yeah, we're going to try using the limitations of what the crowd has given us. This one is a wooden frog toy from Aaron Stickless. He's a really cool guy in the Discord server. Let's listen to what he gave us. Ooh, this is a tough one. Okay, interesting. So this will be a tough one to use, but I think that we can find a place to put this. I think that the very first step when doing sound design is to just try and find the places, the key elements of the sound. For example, in this animation here, we can see that the hits are happening right when the sword collides. So like that big contrast and dark to light. We're going to put a sound right at the start there. So we're just going to put something right here. We're going to do another one at the next swipe of light. And then we're going to do one on the last one as well. Cool. There we go. And while I'm doing some of this explaining as well, I think that the sounds that we're going to need are going to be a yeah. So basically, the appreciate the help, pack staff. Um, so yeah, basically, while I'm doing the sounds here, I think while I'm editing some of these sounds here, I think that the move is going to be to get a couple different source recordings. If you remember seeing the video, you could see that that there are some, we can use something called thematic sound design to kind of break down what we need in our sound effect. So for example, if we take Cloud's animation here, we can see that he has some metal sounds, some whoosh sound effects as well, because there's lots of pretty whoosh VFX going on. So in order to like kind of break this down, I think some source recordings that we might need is something called a white noise source, which is basically all of the frequencies combined. So like what I would do for the panels at PAX is I would usually have the entire audience go shh at the same time. Yeah, and Aaron just posted up an air hiss sound. And that should help with and he just said that'll help with the whooshes. That's perfect. Thank you, Aaron. And then so we can totally use that. There's a duct tape sound in here that I see that somebody just sent in. This will be perfect. And the last thing that I think that we're gonna need is some metal sound. I see that there's an aluminum sound here that we could probably use. So yeah, I think that the first step, of course, is going to be just placing all the right spots. So these are our time markers for where our sounds are going to go. And then I'm going to take these air hiss sounds here. That should be a pretty good sound effect to use for the impacts. I'm going to do just one small thing here where I change the frames. Okay, there we go. And yeah, let's go ahead and start placing these in the right spots. So first one's going to go right here. The second one's going to go here. These are going to represent all of the individual hits here. Cool. And we're going to just change these to different sections of the recordings so that we can actually have some variation. Cool. And then next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to it never goes out. I deeply apologize. Basically, if anybody's listening, I think we could use some deep impact sounds. If anybody in the Discord server is listening, or if you want to submit some sounds, and big shout out to the pack staff again for hooking up such awesome online experience. They're doing a crazy good job during all of this, and I'm sure they're getting tons of new issues that they've never dealt with before. So in addition to these whoosh sounds, I think that we're also going to be getting, I think that we can also use, or in these impact sounds, we can also use this white noise for whooshes. So I'm going to take this here and I'm going to create a different envelope shape. So you can see that an impact sound is going to have a very like sort of, it's going to be a very abrupt and aggressive impact sound basically. So with that, we call this a fast attack. And the reason is because if we think of an envelope as the attack and the release, the attack being a slow or a fast volume over time, and the release is faster, slow volume on the end of the sound, then we can sort of shape our sound that way. For example, this sound has a fast attack and a slow release, while this sound has a slow release and a slow attack. And then a sound like this would have a fast release and a slow attack. So you can kind of get the idea for how we can shape our envelope to fit sounds differently. So with this being said, we want to have a whoosh with a slow attack and a relatively slow release building up to another sound with a fast attack and a slow release, otherwise known as an impact or a whoosh sound. So let's go ahead and just listen to all of this together. So that's going to be, doesn't sound great right now, but I think that we got some more impact sounds here from somebody in the Discord server. Thank you so much for taking part, everybody. And let's listen to how this sounds. Not bad. It sounds like, oh, there's a hydrophone recording. Cool. So this is actually a underwater microphone. Very... Am I frozen again? Oh, no, I'm not. Okay, you were just frozen. So let's see. Yeah, I'm going to low pass it for sure. Good notes, good notes. So we're going to do this whole thing. Could use something like this. I think an impact like this will be pretty good. I'm also going to take, there's some, I guess it's a chef knife sound. I'm going to go ahead and pop that in here. And let's listen to that. Ooh, that's going to be beautiful. Those are some beautiful recordings. It's almost like the audience was prepared for this. I promise they weren't though. The Blipsounds Discord server just has so many awesome people with so many awesome sounds. Cool. Let's so basically we just have these little like sliding sound effects, and I want to use this for the metal source recordings. So we can emphasize the whoosh sound effect with these metal slide recordings. And you can hear right here. And we're gonna just place these all right before every individual hit. And I want to talk a little bit about frequency spectrum. So if we go to our effects here and we go to an EQ, we can actually boost the higher frequencies and make these stand out a little bit more. And we can basically just boost the higher frequencies here. And we can also cut out the lower frequencies. And we can get some pretty cool sounds out of it. And that's just to kind of clean up the audio a little bit. Part of the work is involved in this is just cleaning up the audio and making sure that everything is well balanced and everything is just nice and clean, basically. Man, people are sending so many awesome things. We have it looks like an anvil impact. This should be pretty cool. or let's put that on a new track, and something like that should work. Let's try and layer this in with the rest of the sounds. Like this. So the sound sounds pretty bad right now, but we will hopefully get to a point where the sound does come together. I think another thing that I want to add is a little bit of reverb. So I'm going to use, this is a paid reverb. I usually don't like using reverbs that are paid, but it's just that the default plugins for Reaper are not very good. For those that don't know, this DAW that we're using is called Reaper. And basically in Reaper, we can, Reaper has like so many free plugins and assets that you can use that come with it to make your sound effects. And it's really just one of the best programs out there. And I can't recommend it enough. So if you want to get started with Reaper, if you want to get started with sound design, going to Reaper is an awesome way to get started. And we have some free course material on the Blipsounds website to get started with on blipsounds.com. So otherwise though, you're going to hear right here how much reverb affects the sound here. I'm just going to do I'm going to just do a pretty simple reverb across all of these sounds here. It'll be a little bit messy, but I'm okay with that just because we're kind of testing things out for now. And I'm also going to take these whoosh sounds again, and I'm going to make sure that these are layered properly over different areas of the sound. So you can kind of hear how these impact, how the metal sliding sounds are coming together pretty nicely. I think that they just need to be a little bit of a lower pitch. So let's try that. And I think this is going to make it sound a little bit meatier and heavier. There we go. That sounds a lot better. So the idea and thought process behind that is if I want something to feel bigger, then I'm going to lower the pitch of it or raise the volume of it. And essentially what I did was I just lowered the pitch by stretching it out here. Excuse me. And I essentially just lowered the pitch, and it made it sound a lot bigger, and it made it seem like an object was moving, or a big object was moving, basically. So we have some more sounds here. Man, people are posting a lot of stuff. We have this cool Ninja Start impact sound. Ooh, that'll be pretty cool. I think we could use that as a layer for our impacts. I think that the anvil sound isn't really working as well as I had hoped. But I think this will have some good low end to the sound. Let's take a listen. Cool, that'll work pretty well. And in addition to that, I'm going to add something called a compressor. And we are going to do, I'm not going to explain any of this. Basically what's happening though is that the compressors are one of the most difficult things to explain. The idea is that if we have a bunch of quiet sounds, we're making those quiet sounds louder. So for example, this is a representation of a sound over time. So this volume here, you can see that this waveform is a lot quieter here while it's a lot louder over here. So by adding a compressor, we can boost the volume of this part of the sound while maintaining the volume of this part of the sound to make it all sound bigger together. And you can hear the before and after. It's a little bit quieter. Now it's a little bit louder, which, it makes it's very subtle, but it does make a big difference in the grand scheme of the sound design. And then we have another little anvil hit here. Let's see if we can add that in. By the way, keep sending sound, guys. I think that we could use a little bit more like deep impact sounds. I might just pull something from my personal library if we can't get anything, but I think that we can manage. So I think I'm going to copy the same compressor settings onto this impact anvil. And I think that we need to just lower the pitch of these altogether. So to do that, I'm going to highlight all of them, stretch it out quite a bit, take off preserve pitch. It's a pretty cool sound. I think that it sounds pretty bad right now. I like that one a lot. That has a nice punch to it. So I think we're just going to reuse that one a little bit. And let's take a listen. And let's see how that sounds in the grand scheme of the sound design. Yeah, it doesn't sound great right now, but we will make our way there. Let's see. We're going to add another compressor onto these little metallic impact sounds. And I'm also going to add a little bit more reverb to these sliding sounds here. That sounds cool. And okay, we got some nice impacts here. You said that there's some impacts? Oh, okay. I didn't see those, Aaron. Thank you. Let's listen to these. Ooh, those will be nice. Great job, Aaron. Yeah, we'll use some of those. And you have 3 of them. It's perfect. It's like you just recorded this, maybe. So we're gonna use these in the same exact location as here. So as you can see, the process of sound design involves a lot of layering, a lot of tweaking, and just a lot of somebody on our Discord server described it as dancing with the sound effect. And you're kind of just taking tools that you have to your disposal, and you're just kind of seeing how a sound will sound when you when you just play with it enough. And at this point, the sound is, it's sounding okay right now. It's not to my best liking, but we also have a crazy limitation of making sure by using the crowd or the audience here. I'm gonna try muting this. Nice. Okay, that sounds really nice. These metal impact sounds, or these anvil sounds, were pretty cool, but I don't think they're going to be working for us, unfortunately. Let's see what else anybody has posted up. I think that we could use some more white noise source recordings, personally. And I think that to describe white noise, a white noise source would be something similar to this whoosh sound that was sent in earlier. Something that has like a lot of frequency content to it, and something that something that we can use with to just kind of fill out the whoosh sounds a little bit more, and also fill out the impact sounds a little bit more. And actually, if anybody happens to have like any like paper crumbling sound, I think that would work pretty well. So go ahead and send them in. And for the time being, I'm going to actually show off how to get some white noise inside of Reaper. Actually, I don't know if this person has it, but we have our moderator, Aaron, in the Blipsounds Discord server, who makes a bunch of custom plugins in Reaper. And he made this thing for me, where if I click on one of these buttons up here, it'll automatically create white noise for me. Actually, I haven't done it in quite a while, unfortunately. Add media file with current track. Actually, doesn't seem to be. I'm probably using it wrong right now, but actually, why isn't it working right now? Huh, that's weird. Maybe I messed something up. But anyways, I'll just get white noise the old-fashioned way, because we all don't have Aaron send on to our disposal. But if we use our white noise generator, and then we create a new media item, and then apply the track to effects as new item, then we can remove it. Aaron, no, I did not clear my Reaper directory recently. So that's probably it. Apologies for trying to show off your thing and it not working out. So with this, we are going to cut out you can hear with this white noise here. You can hear with the white noise here that it kind of just it sounds like static on a TV. And what I want to do is I want to add another equalizer, and I want to basically just cut out the high frequencies a tiny bit. And it's a little bit less harsh as a result of that. And Tyler, in regards to the paper that I'm looking for, I think I'm looking for some sort of like paper crumbling sound. Like if the lighter the paper, the better. But heavy paper is okay too. I would say just any sort of like paper crumbling if you can. Let's see. And if you guys want to join in on the Discord server, it is invite.gg/blipsounds. And it's a really great place to get started with sound design. We have a monthly competition and a bunch of passionate sound designers that are just hanging out. Let's see. So we are going to emphasize the lower frequencies by boosting the lows like that. And we're going to layer this in with the rest of them. And I'm also going to, honestly, I'm just going to keep copying this compressor sound. And that'll work out pretty well, I think, for our sound. Let's listen to what we have so far. Nice. Okay. Nice. Okay. Hertz range on the frequency spectrum. The frequency spectrum goes from the human hearing range, at least, goes from 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz, or 22,000 hertz, I believe. So, and there are some frequencies that just sound a little bit piercing. If you've ever heard like those high pitched piercing sounds, it's in the 8 to 10K frequency range. So now these metal sounds will be a little bit less piercing. And very cool. And I'm going to take a couple more of these metal impact sounds here. And let's take some of these and like have them go off into the sound after plays. I'm going to allow the lower frequencies to come back in here a little bit. Let's listen to the sound on its own. Nice. Ooh, that's a pretty sound. So I think that having a mix of lower frequencies and higher frequencies is pretty important for a sound effect. So in this part of the sound, you can hear that we have some lower frequencies. And in this part of the sound, we have some higher frequencies. And I think that's going to come together really nicely in the grand scheme of our sound effect. And let's just find one more spot with some clean higher frequencies. That's not quite what I'm looking for. I think right here would be good. Yeah, let's try something like that. And I'm adding fades on here just to clean up the sound, because otherwise it'll sound a little bit messy if we were just to stop it abruptly. So by adding the fades, it just sounds a little bit more smooth and more like a whoosh sound effect. And I'm going to do this cool thing where I reverse a sound effect. So I'm going to hit Control R here. And that's basically, it doesn't really sound too cool right here, but it's a thing that you can do with certain sounds. Actually, now that I think about it, those inveil sounds that we had before, I'm going to try adding it back in here, because I want to see what happens if we were to reverse this, actually. I think that in almost all sounds, it's very important to have an anticipatory sound effect. Every sound effect should tell a story. So if we hit reverse this, there we go. Nice. So that's the kind of sound I was looking for. You can hear how it sounds like a reverse cymbal kind of sound effect. And we're going to use this at the beginning for the start of the sound here. For when Cloud has his his blade. Nice, cool. And along with this, I'm going to take this hissing sound here. I think it's an air canister. Nice, sounding a lot better. Cool. Good stuff. So I think that we are unfortunately we're a little bit over time for this panel. I didn't really realize that we were coming to an end here, but I appreciate you all taking a listen to this and watching this panel. Unfortunately, we didn't really get to finish the sound. Usually, I would say on average, it takes a sound effect about an hour to get completed. But everybody, thank you so much for joining the this panel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all learned something. I know it wasn't a full, complete sound effect, but I think that it was a fun time anyways. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, everybody. And come join the Blipsounds Discord server. There's a whole community of sound designers there with over 1,000 of us. And you can join by going to invite.gg/Blipsounds. Thanks for watching, everyone.